The Devil Wears Prada is one of the most iconic fashion films, at least in my opinion. It gives me all the cozy vibes, and today we're gonna make this hopefully delicious grilled cheese sandwich from the film. If the name Miranda Priestley doesn't do anything for you, then we can't be friends. She's an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment. The Devil Wears Prada was actually on my list of films to watch for many years after it came out. I actually only saw it for the first time a few years ago, but it instantly became a comfort movie for me and instantly became one of my faves. I've now seen it countless times. I also think that I, like most people, tend to romanticize the fashion industry. The models are gorgeous, they're wearing high fashion. They appear to, at least, live a life that many people would want to live. I grew up in LA in close, far proximity to glitz and glam. What I mean by close, far is that I don't know any celebrities or anything like that, but when you live in Hollywood, when you grow up in Hollywood, you're kind of immersed in that culture and close to that culture regardless. And I honestly have always viewed myself as an Andy in a world of Mirandas or even a world of Emilys. And Andy is basically the complete and polar opposite of glitz and glam. She has her frumpy blue or cerulean sweater. She's not into fashion by any means, and she's not about to be on the cover of anyone's magazine anytime soon. One of the most iconic films in the film, outside of the one where Miranda outwardly reads her for her cerulean sweater, is the scene where Miranda silently reads her for her cerulean sweater.
Emily?
Yes?
That's all.
I've never heard silence louder than that. And I have felt like an Andy for most of my life. And that is honestly why it was probably easy for this film to become a comfort movie for me, because the Andy wins at the end of this film. The Andy gets what she wants. The underdog is the winner, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Hey y'all, it's Nae. Welcome back to my little corner of YouTube, and welcome to Comfort Movie and a Meal. And if you haven't guessed already, we're going to be discussing The Devil Wears Prada and making a meal from the film. For those of you who care to know a little bit more about this series, I have actually had this series on my list of things to start for a couple of years now. I thought it up in 2023. I wanted to get it going in 2024, and time just never worked out. So here I am in 2025, finally making it happen, and I hope it all works out. This series is, of course, inspired by Kendall's Bad Movie and a Beat. I don't think you can be a fan of the entertainment commentary space or a commenter in the commentary space without knowing who that is, or at least that series of video. But I do not wear, nor do I know how to put on makeup, so y'all will never see me beat my face or anything like that. I just can't make it happen. The most you're ever gonna see is this gloss right here. What I do know how to do and what I do love doing is cooking. So I figured this would be a great way to kind of merge my passion for film and cooking all into one and bring it to my channel. Also, I can't even lie, when I'm not watching stuff for YouTube, 9 times out of 10, I'm watching the same 5 movies on repeat, and it could be the ADHD and or the anxiety, but I was like, I wonder if anybody else just watches the same movie over and over and over again. And then I was like, well, I want to find a way to bring my comfort movies to my audience, and I was just going to do it regular sit-down style. This is my comfort movie, this is why I love it. But then I was like, I kind of want to do some cooking. And that's how this was formed. I was like, I'm going to do comfort movie and a meal. And I thought, what better time to do it than in January, the winter time, when people are feeling cozy, they want that comfort food, whatever. And who knows, maybe down the line, some of you will share your comfort movies with me and I could make a meal while I talk about that. Now, of course, I cannot discuss The Devil Wears Prada without talking about the infamous pile of stuff scene.
Okay, I see. You think this has nothing to do with you. You go to your closet and you select, I don't know, that lumpy blue sweater, for instance, because you're trying to tell the world that you take yourself too seriously to care about what you put on your back. But what you don't know is that that sweater is not just blue, it's not turquoise, it's actually cerulean. Oscar de la Renta did a collection of cerulean gowns and then trickled on down into some tragic casual corner where you no doubt fished it out of some clearance bin. Sort of comical how you think that you've made a choice that exempts you from the fashion industry when in fact you're wearing a sweater that was selected for you by the people in this room from a pile of stuff.
Immediately after that, we cut to a scene of Andy's boyfriend making her a grilled cheese sandwich for dinner with
$8 of Jarlsberg in there.
So I went to the store and got me some Jarlsberg, and we're gonna make that grilled cheese sandwich. Now I was gonna pair this with a tomato bisque because I love a tomato bisque, but I wanted to keep it true to the film and pair it with a glass of red wine because in the movie, Andy is just so frustrated about getting red for filth about her cerulean sweater that she's like, I'm not even hungry, I'm just gonna have a glass of wine.
I'm not even hungry anymore. Just have to stick it out for a year. 1 year. And then I can do what I came to New York to do.
So I'm gonna pair this grilled cheese sandwich with a glass of wine if you're wondering why I'm doing it. That's why. I have some good old Stella Rosa. Stella Rosa? Stella Rosa? Some good old Stella Rosa. Black. Even though it is Stella Rosa black, it is a red wine. If you did not know that. So yeah, we're having cheese and wine. It's basically like charcuterie, except I'm taking the extra step to put it on the oven and grill it between 2 pieces of bread. You'll see what I'm doing. They coming at you from in the pantry. There's nothing to see here except for saltine crackers. Alexa, play Sabrina Carpenter Espresso.
Playing Espresso EP by Sabrina Carpenter.
Me espresso. Let's get the pan heated up. So here I just have some classic sourdough. I mean, I don't really know if it's classic, but it is the sourdough that I have. For some reason, this sourdough is like comically large, but I'm just going to, if I can find the bread. Hello? Is the bread knife the one I don't have available? Now, my Jarlsberg is not, I actually don't know what kind of cheese this is. Like, it doesn't say, it's not cheddar, but it doesn't say cheddar. It doesn't really say. Got that official Jarlsberg label on it. I do have the pan heating up right now. I suppose I mean, I could shred it. I don't think I am going to shred it. I was going to because I was like, it's just a block. Cut it thin enough, which I'm totally not doing right now. But if I cut it thin enough, it should melt just fine. Don't take any food prep lessons from me. It's just something I enjoy doing. I am not professionally trained. I feel like I should say that for somebody to be like, oh, she said she cut her cheese. No. I cut my cheese like this because I don't want to put it in the blender and have to have a bowl that I need, or a blender cup that I need to wash. How much cheese goes in a grilled cheese? You know, he didn't quite say. So we're just gonna, for extra precaution, we're just gonna put a whole lot. Also, for this grilled cheese sandwich, I wanted to pair it with a spicy jam, and I was out of my favorite spicy jam, so I opted for this hot pepper bacon jam. So I don't know about anybody else, but I like to sprinkle a little salt on like the bread of my grilled cheese. And actually, I probably sprinkle it in the pan, but just a little sprinkle of salt to give the bread, like, I don't know, some salt. Of course, with the butter. And I am very low on butter, so don't judge my balled up Kerrygold. I am very, very low on butter. I just realized today, I thought I had some extra butter in the freezer, and the freezer was like, girl, there's no butter in here. It's because I bought too much during the holidays, and I was like, I have so much butter, but then I didn't realize I used it all during the holidays. So we're working with the bare minimum butter, but you know what? We're gonna make it happen, okay? But maybe I should start with the flatter pieces. Come on, I gotta fit about $8 of Jarlsberg on here. I think that's enough. Is that enough? I feel like that's not enough cheese. I feel like you can never have too much cheese for a grilled cheese, because it's literally the whole thing is cheese. Let's get some of these butter scraps in the pan. Now, there is just something about Miranda that always reminded me of Cruella de Vil. Did y'all know that Cruella de Vil's name was actually Cruel Devil, Cruella de Vil? I realized that most people probably knew that already, but 101 Dalmatians was a huge part of my childhood, and I found out that information embarrassingly recently. But I say that to say that's probably the reason why that character feels so familiar to me. Cruella's in fashion. Obviously, Miranda's in fashion. She's actually a fashion icon. She's intelligent, and she's no nonsense. I am very confident that Miranda Priestling would 100% make a coat out of dog's fur if she could find a way for her PR to spend it positively. Miranda is also grossly misunderstood. Now, you might be looking at me and going, no, she's not. She's a mean, entitled, and self-centered woman. And she very well may be all of those things, but she's also misunderstood. Is starting to melt. You know, I see why I had thought to grate it before, because if I would have had thinner slices, it would have melted a lot easier. I'm actually going to add some of the jam inside of the grilled cheese, and I think that's really going to make it pop. I can't see, but this is going terribly on the other side. Hold on. I mean, maybe not terribly. I'm trying to spread it, but okay, let's get it back in there. And don't worry, because I did not forget the most important part of this, which is obviously the Stella Rosa. My jelly's falling out. Andy goes through an entire transformation, and she really actually struggles to fit in with the beautiful people at Runway. She eventually puts in all the work, not only to be accepted, but also to be better at the job. Because as we know, this job at Runway is a means to an end for her. Which, of course, she does end up doing that because the magic was in her all along, right? Now, when Andy does finally get the job that she wants, she happens to run into Miranda one morning on her way to work. And they kind of do this thing where they look at each other, they stare at each other, and Miranda gives her her version of a smile, which is really this kind of half smirk. She's happy for her. I think in a way, Miranda is happy that Andy got out. She is no longer in the sunken place of Runway. Because while Runway has been Miranda's biggest accomplishment, it has also been her biggest downfall. She has the recognition, she has the wealth, she has the fame, but she's now on divorce, 2 or 3? Because Runway has just taken up so much of her life, consumed so much of her life. She hasn't had time to nurture her now second marriage. He never saw her and she never saw her kids. The assistants were always buying things for them. And while she attempted to be a good mother, she had things purchased for them. She threw money at the situation. She did try to show up for their recital, but again, Runway got in the way in the form of a hurricane. It seems as though at every turn, Runway is just there to remind her, no, this is your real life. This is really who you are. The more I bite into this, the more I'm like, this can't be the Jarlsberg that he was using, because this is not grilled cheese type of cheese. It ain't cheesing right. Runway is always there to remind her of who she is. Not a mother, not a wife, but Miranda Priestling, owner of Runway. Nothing more, nothing less. And what kind of existence is that really? It's the same question that I'm starting to ask about this Jarlsberg grilled cheese sandwich. I need to talk to the Devil Wears Prada team, because this is not... Y'all should have specified the type of Jarlsberg, because it ain't this. Whatever this is not that type. This is not grilled cheese. Now, I'm going to eat it, because I don't want to waste food, but I highly suggest y'all use a different cheese. Jarlsberg is not cutting it for the grilled cheese. That's exactly why Andy preferred the wine, and why I do too. This has been really fun. I don't know how often I'm going to do this series, or if I'm always going to do a meal based off of what's in the movie, because I do have an idea for another comfort movie that I want to do, but the food isn't in the movie. It's just something I want to make because it feels like it goes with the movie. So we'll see what I do next. We'll see when I post it next. Hopefully you guys like it. If not, it's still going to be my comfort movie. This will not be the meal though. This is terrible. Nobody make this. Nobody make this unless you're going to use a different cheese. This is where staying true to the film goes terribly wrong. Outside of that, though, I've had a great time making this. I hope I can edit it in the way that makes sense, because it's a new style for me. And I guess I'll say again, Happy New Year, because this is still going out in January, so the first month of the new year. So Happy New Year. I hope everybody's year is off to a great start. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Should I make a new outro instead of bye? Should I make it cheers? Cheers. I guess I always have to have a drink now. Or bon appetit. Am I thinking too much? Bon appetit. Girl, please mind your business. My computer just shut off my script. My computer shut off my script. Please mind your business and stay on. Thank you. I always feel like I'm doing ASMR when I'm holding this. Today we're going to be making a grilled cheese sandwich. It's going to be delicious, hopefully. They have not found a way to make these not inconvenient, I swear. My give a fucks are on vacation. Ah, mother. Oh, y'all don't even want to know. I just bumped my funny bone elbow, and I'm really struggling right now. Oh, hold on. I got to stop the recording. Oh, that was crazy. I bumped it on the edge of the cow. Jarlsberg. A little bit. Miranda has always reminded me, like, no, it's the wine. Bon appetit. Why did the Jarlsberg betray me like this? Bon appetits? Bones? Bon appetit. Would you say you like my apron? Oh, thanks. Courtesy of Jeff Bezos himself. I'll link it in the description box. What would you like to say? The wind is insane. Baby girl, is Dorothy out there?